Have you had an American whiskey that is finished in a Speyside Scotch barrel?
None that I know of.
I don't know of any other ones other than the Sweetens Cove 22. Welcome back to Exploring Whiskey. Today we're gonna head down to on the way to Chattanooga.
Yeah.
A little Sweetens Cove.
This is the Sweetens Cove 22 Tennessee bourbon. I honestly don't know why it was 22. I didn't find anything that actually said why it was named 22. But that is the reason why I got that bottle. So this was a gift from my wife for celebrating our 22nd wedding anniversary. She tried to find a whiskey that was 22 years old. It's not really a known, that's not a common age. So instead she went with one that had a big prominent 22 on it. So if you haven't seen anything about Sweetens Cove, it's a small golf course.
9 holes.
9-hole golf course that is pretty
expensive.
Pretty expensive.
It's
like a cool story.
It's like a guy's
destination type golf course. It's something that goes and the whiskey kind of came about between Peyton Manning, Andy Roddick,
and Justin Timberlake.
It's a nod back to the tradition, and the tradition is when you go to play Sweetens Cove on the first hole, you
have a shot
of whiskey. So they created this. The very first one that they released 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago.
I think it's been at least 3.
Came out of the gate, and I think that was older Dickel, if I recall correctly. It was fine. It wasn't spectacular.
It's a heck of a knob.
Yeah, with a nice metal band and a little fidgety guy, which I think comes off, if I remember. Yeah, it does.
It's a ball marker.
It's a ball mark. So that's kind of cool. Then they came out with the Kinnessy, which I do believe we reviewed the Kinnessy at one point. The pricing is
across the board
weird. So the very first bottle that they came out with, I think MSRP'd for $200 plus, but with the fact that it was Peyton Manning and all this other stuff going on, like a lot of times you didn't see it for $250.
It's an interesting group to put together.
So that was the reason why the pricing went a little weird, because of who was behind it. Then they came out with the Kinnessy, and the Kinnessy was, I don't remember exactly, but say $50, $60, and pretty good whiskey. And it was just kind of, and a neat historical thing, because the border between Tennessee and Kentucky they wanted to kind of be their own thing, so literally it was called Kinnessy. So that's kind of interesting. And then this one came out and priced right back up. So this is a $200 bottle.
But this one's finished.
This is finished, and it's a blend, almost like a Solera bottle, if you think about it.
Solera cask.
Yes, because it's 10-year, 8-year, 6-year, and 5-year-old whiskey, and then it's finished in Speyside Scotch, which is kind of interesting. You don't see that a lot from Tennessee
usually we send our barrels over there. Normally, we don't get them back.
That's right. Yes.
They go from there to probably
Japan or something.
India
India for final usage until it's dead.
The nose there's not a whole lot to it. I don't think there's a whole lot to it.
No, there's not so it is 114 proof.
There's no ethanol on the nose.
I guess slight ethanol, but it's not a burn. It's not harsh by any means. There's a little bit of I'm going to say like a soft, like sweet butter almost a note to it.
Ooh, I like the palate.
For some reason, I was expecting more Speyside impact on the nose, but that's not really where it's going to be, because those barrels are used and reused and stuff like that. It's going to be more on the palate. You
get a little bit of a spice, and then it's sweet.
Yes. So there's definitely a spice, maybe a char kind of note impact, something going on in there. I will say I also get the charcoaly, almost like I don't think it's Lincoln County process, but I almost get something like that. I'm not sure. And it does get nice and sweet. The whole ending is really much sweeter than I expected.
I wasn't sure what to expect. Given I didn't get anything off the nose.
Yeah.
But knowing that it was finished in a Scotch,
there's
no telling how many times it was used.
Right.
No, that's actually pretty tasty. That's a nice little dessert pour.
It's sweet. It's got and it's the lingering sweet. Like it doesn't
It goes with the name.
Sweeten. Yeah, sure. It doesn't start sweet.
Mm-mm.
It starts
Proofy and
spicy and barrel char notes and things like that, and then it just but it lingers with a nice long, slightly fruity Speyside-y kind of sweetness. Really wish the nose had a little more to it.
See, now I go to the nose, and all I get is ethanol.
I get just a little bit of sweetness, but I couldn't tell you what it is. Like for the sweet on the sweet side, I just can't place what it is.
Oh, I get the Dickel
Mineral.
Yeah.
No, I'm not at the mineral part. I'm getting.
It wasn't as sweet the second go round.
No, but it's
minerally
more,
and more of but it's got more of the proof bite to it.
What proof? Oh,
it's 114.
I'm getting more baking spices.
Okay.
An allspice or something that's kind of popping through. But yeah, the sweetness really at the very end of the finish.
Yeah,
it's kind of there, but it's much less than it was the first time. Weird little bottle.
I'm enjoying it so far.
It's nothing's wrong with it except for the price. It's not a $200 bottle. If you can put that up against other things that you could buy for $200, it doesn't compare.
Yep.
It really doesn't. I don't understand their pricing. Maybe they don't care. It'll sell just because they're behind it type thing.
Around here, it's not a bottle you see on the shelf regularly.
The Tennessee,
maybe that one, but that's the cheapest of all of them.
Yeah, right.
But the rest of them?
Well, they're only going to be in they're behind the counter bottles or they're
there's just not a lot.
Locked.
There's not a lot of them.
I agree. It's very limited.
I wouldn't say it's allocated, but it's along those lines.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes with the pricing. No.
Nothing. No major change and just no real. It tastes like slightly sweet whiskey. No descript note off of that. There's a little bit of a sweetness to it.
All right.
Nothing. It's so nondescript on the nose. I got bready.
Mouth was watering like crazy.
So it's not as sweet. It lost some of that Speyside-y. But now it tastes like kind of a higher rye bourbon kind of coming through with a little bit of age.
I get almost like a double oak.
Okay, I could see that. A
oak.
little woody note, there's age notes. There's a little bit of age showing up now.
I like it better without water.
I think it's more interesting without water, but it's not bad with water.
I'd have it both, but if I had my preference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without water.
Yeah, especially that first sip that had that fun little ride of
roller coaster.
Yeah, of the turning into a Speyside.
Now I'm curious what else they're gonna do. You don't get many American whiskeys that finish
in Speyside Scotch. Yeah, that is fairly unique.
But that's also part of it. If you're paying for the barrels to come back over here,
that's part of the price.
Absolutely. Part of the price.
But if the oldest whiskey is 10-year-old.
Yeah.
So let's use the simple math. So let's just say barrel proof 10-year-old, $10 a year. That's $100. And now you're doing a finishing. All right, maybe 150. Maybe you could talk me into that. But it's not just 10-year-old whiskey. It's 10, 8, 6, and 5-year-old whiskey.
How many bottles do you think they sell in a weekend down there?
At the yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's
Well, you go in and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to one of the condos or I've never been down there.
No.
But so if you're with a group of dudes, you're gonna grab 3 or 4 bottles.
You're gonna grab a couple bottles. Yeah, that's probably where most of their distribution goes is the liquor stores around that golf course. Absolutely.
Or just at the golf course. Kudos to those 3 for coming together.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone brought them together.
Probably.
They needed the backing.
Somehow I feel like they may have access to a little bit of funds.
Just a little bit, but
a little bit of money.
Peyton Manning's name obviously carries some weight here in the state of Tennessee.
Yes, it does.
So you may not know Justin Timberlake grew up in Memphis.
Yeah,
His name
carries some weight.
Some weight here. Andy Roddick, he's like a Nebraska or Kansas kid. He's someone from in that area, but yeah, I don't know. Everything I've had has been good.
Yeah, it's good whiskey.
It's just like you said, the pricing is just
weird.
All over the board.
Yeah.
All over
Makes
the board.
no sense.
I would definitely sample this if a friend has a bottle or if you're out to dinner and you're like, oh, we've got this bottle. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll take a 2-ounce pour, please.
if you're out to celebrate your 22nd wedding anniversary, a pour.
It's not 22-year-old spirit.
Yeah, it pours perfect. I would not spend $200 on the whole bottle. It's just not.
Hope your wife doesn't watch this episode.
I've already told her. She asked. I don't care. One, it's, I believe, the very first whiskey that my wife has ever bought for me.
Mm-mm. You're the weird bottle.
That weird bottle.
You got it for your anniversary. Oh, no, your wife and your daughter picked that out.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, that was, yeah. But that's the very first time that, like, she went off, bought me a bottle of whiskey. So I was just totally happy with that. I like the thought behind it with the 22 was really cool. And it is a very cool bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just overpriced. That's all it comes down to.
Overall, I think it's a decent bottle, overpriced, but I would absolutely drink it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's got some it's got, especially that first
neat with the different varying roller coaster ride is kind of, it's cool. It's
an interesting concept of finishing it in a Speyside barrel.
Yeah.
Now I'm intrigued if there's other American spirits.
I'm gonna say probably, but I don't know.
There's got to be, because you can only do so many things, and then you gotta start copying somebody else.
Yep.
We hope you enjoyed our review of the Sweetens Cove 22 Tennessee Bourbon, finished in the Speyside Scotch barrel.
Yeah.
It's got some interesting notes. I thought overall tasty. I'll probably go without the water just to get more.
Agreed. More of the ride.
More of the ride. But definitely, if you're at someone's house or out to eat, definitely a pour to try it would definitely be the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And then right up here, we'll link up our review to the Tennessee. I know we did that one, so we'll link up that review so you can take a look at that. And honestly, if you enjoyed this review and you like learning about a whole lot of different whiskeys regionally or internationally or cocktails,
give us a follow.
Yeah.
Give us a follow. Give us a like.
Yeah. We appreciate any of the support that you might throw our way. And let us know what you think if you've had this one. Or if you know of another American whiskey, bourbon, whatever, finished in a Scotch barrel.
Yep.
Love to see what else is out there. Experiment. Love to hear from you.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
See you on the next episode.
Cheers.